The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. Hi friend, welcome back. So my name is Rebecca for those who are new here, and on this channel we focus on building wealth and pursuing our dreams without being tied down to a traditional job. Now, there are a lot of aspects that kind of go into that, but today we are just strictly focusing on motivation. So if you're interested in these topics, please consider subscribing, and let's just go ahead and get started. To chase our dreams, we all need motivation and reminders. And that's because we have to put in some hard work to pursue those dreams. We have to get up day after day and put one foot in front of the other and keep on chasing. It's not exactly a leisurely walk, it's a chase. So that's why today we're doing a less conventional video. Normally on this channel we do how-to videos and I give you lots of information, but today's video is simply motivation. If we don't stay motivated to chase our dreams, then none of this really matters. So on the screen, you're going to be seeing some of my reasons for my own motivation. It's important that you keep your motivations and your why in front of you. You need to keep thinking about those things in order to keep pressing on and doing the hard work that it takes. Let me share with you my own why, and meanwhile, I want you to be thinking about your why. So today you're seeing me on the screen traveling around the world, and what I haven't shared yet on this channel is that the reason I focus this channel on building wealth and living our dreams without a traditional job is because I want to be able to travel whenever and wherever I want, as well as to help those who are in need. And so if you hear some weird sounds in the background during my videos, it's because I'm in Nepal. It's because I'm traveling and it's a very loud place, noisy. I'm not in a perfect little environment. I'm traveling around the world and I'm pursuing my dreams. My husband and I have been living abroad for 1 year now, and I'm so glad that I focused on giving myself the freedom to do this, because this is what living is to me. Like, I want to live my life. I don't want to wait until I'm 60 years old to be able to start living my life. I want my life to have more purpose and meaning than just sitting in an office chair from 9 to 5 for the next 40 years. So yeah, that's the backstory and the motivation behind this channel, and that's why you're seeing me here traveling, because this is my motivation, and I wanted to spark your motivation too. I don't know what your why is, but you do, and I want you to start to think about that right now. You might have no idea how important your why really is to your business and your financial success, but it really, really is. If you're not thinking about the future, then you will most likely only live for today, and you won't make progress on your dreams. So I think there's so much importance both in being present today, but also in focusing on the future, on your dreams and your goals. Let's get back to our inspirational quote for the month. I'll read it one more time. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. And this is so, so true. You guys, if you are thinking of starting a small business, or you want to get your finances together, or you have some unique idea in your mind that you want to pursue, those ideas are not in your mind for no reason. They are there for a reason. And yes, you do deserve to have success. And yes, you are good enough. Many of us self-sabotage and delay starting those things that we know that we should start because we suffer from imposter syndrome. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's a lie, you guys. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. So it says from Wikipedia, shout out to Wikipedia, thanks. Imposter syndrome, also known as imposter phenomenon, is a psychological experience of intellectual and professional infraudulence. It is the subjective experience of perceived self-doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. And I just think that is so telling. Pay attention to this definition. Imposter syndrome is perceived self-doubt, and it's despite evidence to the contrary. That means that these feelings are just telling your mind lies. So even though you are more than qualified to do something, you feel like an imposter, regardless of the truth. So we have to combat these lies that come into our mind, and I just want to remind you of the truth. In reality, you can do it. I want to remind you that you do have those skills, that you've been through the training, you have the strength and even the expertise that you need. You just need to start. So that's where this quote comes in. And if you want to get ahead with your finances, you just need to start. If you want to get ahead in business, you just need to start. If you want to be able to travel, you have to start somewhere. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to just do it. And that is the hardest part. So I want to encourage you guys, starting is the hardest part. In a way, I think that's the essence of this quote by Mark Twain. People just put off starting. Most of us have this tendency to procrastinate, to put off starting. But once you start, then the ball is rolling and you have the opportunity to get ahead. So my mom always remembers this one science project that we did together when I was a kid, where you study startup friction. I don't know if that's the scientific term, but that's what they called it in my science class. And the meaning behind this phrase is that the hardest part of motion is the part of getting started, because that's where there's the most friction. You know, you think about a car when you're starting to accelerate, it takes a while to get from 0 to 60, let's say. But once you're at 60, you can just keep going because you have momentum, right? And that's the same concept that we're talking about here. Getting started is the hardest part, and it's a law of nature. And I really believe that it's also valid when it comes to business, finances, pretty much anything in life. So now, whenever anything is challenging at the beginning, my mom will always remind me, it's startup friction. So the key to remember here is that once you start, things will get smoother and easier, because it's a law of nature, and it's basically a law of life. Like, there are going to be things that might go wrong, but not every day is going to be the same difficulty as getting started. So you guys, just remember, if you want to get ahead, get started. And if you keep putting something off until tomorrow or until next year, just remember my mom and tell yourself it's startup friction. So I want to encourage you guys with that. And if there's anything that you're putting off, get started. Get past the hardest part. And it won't take that long. And you can do it. Just set aside the chunk of time that you need. Focus on it. Once you get started, it will get smoother. So you've just got to get started to get ahead. So you guys, that's going to be it for today. It's a pretty short video, but if you actually made it to the end of this with me just kind of sharing my thoughts and rambling and showing my fun videos that probably nobody wants to see, I'm so honored that you took your time to be here with me. And I really want to see you in the comments. I want to see who made it to the end of this particular video. So if you made it this far, go ahead and say startup friction in the comments in honor of my mom so that I can see who you are. So I really hope that this was helpful to you in some way. I hope that I was able to encourage you. And you guys, until next time, please remember that you are loved, you are not alone, and you've got this. All right, bye.